Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Exit Liquidity. Episode. Can't get to our
80,
YouTube page fast enough. 89?
I think 88. No,
88?
89. I think
89 or
Dyad was 88.
90? Okay. 89. Almost at 100.
89.
We're getting there. First solo
Do you
episode
think
in a
we would have
while.
made it? You think we would have guessed we would make it to 100?
I mean, we wanted it to be around DevCon, right? But then, we would
Yeah,
have
I
had
know,
to
but I'm
hustle
talking
to
about
get there.
at the start. Because I remember we would always talk about most podcasts don't get to 20 episodes. And I remember
Yeah.
we not celebrated, but we sort of celebrated getting to 20
Yeah.
as a milestone. It's pretty
Yeah.
wild.
I
For what it's worth, this podcast is, it's opened a lot of doors for us. I don't know if the audience realizes that. I don't think I would have stayed in crypto if we didn't do this.
Really?
I don't think I could have made it, dude. I don't think so.
Damn. Well, you did, so
yeah.
No reason to wonder about what if. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Sometimes when I meet new people or someone introduces me to someone, even outside of Exit Liquidity stuff, they introduce me, and I'm sure this happens to you too. They introduce us as co-founders of Exit Liquidity. It's the one. They don't mention any other past experience. That's the only thing, and I love that, honestly.
Yeah.
It's pretty
cool.
Yeah. What was so we did a solo back. We mostly just talked about pump fund garbage, I feel like. And how
did we?
ETH
What was the
bad.
last thing we talked about?
I think so. The episode, I don't remember what we talked about, but the episode's titled Ethereum and pump fund or something like that.
What's your give the how are you feeling? How do you feel about crypto right now? How do you feel about this industry?
I feel pretty good.
Aside from price action,
Yeah. I mean, so I guess a lot of it is affected by my personal situation, and even though I planned to take time off for most of the summer, it was totally way worse for price swings when you're living off of your portfolio, because when things are bad, it's the whole the whole world is ending, and you're super just nihilistic about everything. Now that I have a job, it's a lot easier to be okay with that stuff. Especially when you spend most of your day working on actual products, it makes it a lot easier to ignore most of the stuff that previously would have made me more pessimistic about things. But overall I feel pretty good. It was a pretty boring summer. We had a fun last week, maybe 2 weeks, something like that, up until things turn around a little bit. But I feel like most people were in the camp of it's going to be a boring summer, kind of just, don't spend too much time on any charts and come back in October and things will be good. And October hasn't started great, obviously, but things can only be boring for so long. I mean, we've been ranging forever now, it feels like.
Yeah.
I've
begun to just not even care about price. I've had a job and doing exit liquidity stuff, which has not been great for my P&L. I do think I'm underperforming. I don't even know if I'm underperforming ETH in total, but I think that's impossible to do. But I think I'm teetering on underperforming Bitcoin. So I don't know. I've come to realize I'm not a great trader, and my best bet is to surround myself with people that are better traders, people that are smarter than me, via this podcast, and try and snag some decent wins every now and then. But Nowadays, I think my focus has really been trying to build cool shit, like make cool content. Um, don't really care about price action. There still isn't any app that excites me enough. Besides like maybe like Polymarket. Um, that's really it. I think I was thinking about this recently, but I feel like the people that were building things during the bear were doing a very good job of like preparing themselves and preparing their protocols for this like upcycle. Some of the bigger projects are like, getting to the point where they're actually going to have to ship a product. Um, but I was thinking more recently, especially for how we think about like new guests and stuff and trying to find like interesting protocols, which there is like simply a giant lack of that. I wonder where I should be looking for that newer stuff and those newer builders. It feels like most new builders and newer protocols have like gotten the attention they deserve, maybe more than they deserve, and are getting to their kind of launch date. Like there is the like, there was the whole like Olympus DAO ecosystem crew that I can hear I can hear each breath that you take right now. Uh I think your mic keeps like unplugging or something. I don't know. Um but I think like each the like the bear chain older DeFi ohm fork guys have, those builders have come and they're building their great protocols, and Sammy is building his shit. Smokey and that crew are building their shit, and like there's some DeFi people that are building in that ecosystem, and they're getting to like the launch day. Like that cohort, I feel like is graduating basically. And then there there's like the Solana cohort that I feel like is going as well. Um, thanked them. I mean, I'm not gonna act like I was aware of the Jito cohort or like, but I feel like that generation of builders have like reached their, I don't want to say highest form of potential, but like reach their launch points, their launch dates. And I feel like the most interesting times are watching those very early on and watching those like builders come out of the ashes of another ecosystem and build something successful, like you see with Zon and Anisha coming from the Luna ecosystem. The thing that I'm curious about is like I feel like there isn't I can't find the next cohort. Like I don't know where to find that next cohort of like very strong builders who worked on something else and now are have this very interesting new idea that they're building towards. And um yeah, that's the area that I think I'm like really 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 looking for. I'm not looking for another like, or I'm not getting excited about another perp stacks on another L1 or an L2. I'm not really, I don't really care about how many times people are looping um, some type of stable coin or something. I don't know. I mean, maybe this is it. Maybe this was like the last moment for interesting protocols or like interesting new builders. But I, what I've been thinking about more recently is like where to find that next cohort of very strong builders who aren't just looking to raise $5 million and making a fork of an app on a different chain. Um, but
Well, I guess you have to think about how to find them necessarily, because if you think about the last one,
T,
well, no, I mean like who like how would you know one if you spotted one? In my mind, what you're talking about is
I spotted one.
who?
I think the guys who are doing Doxa are pretty cool.
I
That
don't
like
even know what that is.
it's like a different take on prediction market stuff.
Yeah.
Those guys feel like pretty, young, smart people that are trying to solve something that is like a tough problem, and it's not being tackled in the same way by a lot of people. They aren't just going to throw leverage on prediction markets. They're trying to offer a different solution. And it's just a feeling like you find these guys, and sounds kind of whack, but it is just
I
like
think
a
you
feeling.
can like find them intentionally though too, because what you're talking about essentially is like the examples you're referring to is people who worked on other stuff in the past that like it wasn't
Worked on other stuff is not a
necessarily a failure, but it like they worked on something novel in the past that was like it was a success in the sense that it was like a good learning experience for them. So
like,
like
where's the guy that created Abacus, man? Like, I feel
I don't
like
know, that guy
that
left.
co
That guy's gone.
that cohort, if that dude makes another protocol, like, it's going to be a difficult problem that he's going to try and solve for, and he is not just looking to fork something on a L2, and his Twitter isn't just crowded with meme coins during his free time. He's actually focused on building like a strong new type of DApp or like solution for something. Like,
Yeah, I mean that's what you have to look
when
for. Stuff that
when I
kind of
say that,
worked in some way in the past and people who are working on
does
stuff
anyone
now.
come to your mind that excites you?
Not anyone we don't already know. So like Sammy is a good example because Redacted like I mean they were good at what they did, but it wasn't super scalable. It didn't really find fit at scale, and now they're doing something that's more scalable. If you go,
Yeah, but
you would
the
have to
story
go
is
back and
over.
look at this. What do you mean the story's over? They
Like,
just launched.
like when you're reading a book, you can tell it's the last chapter of the book. There's still more pages, but it's obvious it's the last chapter. Like,
Nah, no way. I mean, we don't know what's gonna happen with Dinero.
it's just institutional LSTs. That's
Right.
it.
So if it
I
blows
mean, it's
up and gets
cool.
to
It's
20
cool.
billion TVL, that's not then that would certainly be another few pages, I think.
Yes, it would be another few pages, but there wouldn't be a whole new chapter for it
I
beyond
think
this
there totally
chapter.
could. Dinero was something completely different a year ago. Dinero was a stable coin. Like
I
who
know.
knows what can happen in a year, in a couple years. I can't think of any other examples off the top of my head though. I
Really,
mean,
that's it.
I'm sure there are more. I'm sure there are more. He's the easy one. His case is the easiest one to point to, I think, because it was like the most clear, and we literally like talked about it. But maybe it makes sense to look in other ecosystems, like to look into people building on Sui, or there's a lot of failed Solana projects that are building new stuff now. Not anyone I'm necessarily willing to take a chance on, but like Solend wasn't a failure, but it wasn't special by any means. And now they have Sweeland and they made Save and like the meme coin shorting thing. There was Mango Markets, which obviously the whole thing happened with them. Now they're building a Jupiter competitor. Um, like I think in Solana you would probably find some good examples. The problem is I feel like project development infrastructure. I think infrastructural improvements move pretty fast on Solana relative to Ethereum. I mean, everything moves fast relative
Yeah,
to
Solana's
Ethereum, but
probably Solana's probably, yeah, the price going up moves a lot faster.
yeah.
Uh,
No, but the
S-
actual infrastructure too, like they've
Solana makes sense. Yeah,
decentralized pretty. But the
yeah.
projects don't move that fast, I don't think.
Solana could be interesting. I think you're right. Any other L1 or Alt L1, you're just gonna see a whole phase of, hey, we need a perp stacks on Monad. Hey, we need a liquidity lending protocol on Monad, and we need it on Say, and we need it on Sui, and we need it on Aptos, and we need it on all these places. There's no evolution for any of this stuff. Um,
Aerodrome, that's a good example. Even though I don't think that success is gonna last. And like it's pretty much just driven by Coinbase. Because like Velodrome metrics have been like
that
down
that was
only since
such a that
2023.
was you were so right about that. you were so right about that play that, or you talked about it so much that I I don't want to say I'm disappointed that you didn't capitalize off it
I
because
know
it
I
doesn't
didn't I
matter to me.
didn't
But like,
I
I
never bought the token, not
the
once.
thesis, yeah, the thesis that you had was so pinpoint. I'm pretty sure there's an episode with you talking about it,
Yeah. Like, since
early
before
on.
they launched too, I remember when they announced, I, like, sent it to you, I was like,
It was simple.
this is
It
the
was just like
easiest, like"
Coinbase. Yeah, it was so simple.
Yeah.
But is that
Uh
exciting though? Like, are you getting
No,
up in the
because
morning excited
it's
about
not a new
Aerodrome?
product, like,
Yeah,
the only reason it is what it is because it's on Base, Coinbase is pushing it, and there's the whole, like, Base normie thesis, which is, like, honestly pretty weak right now.
yeah,
But it's still, I mean, metrics still look great, so it's like
yeah.
5x TVL and Velodrome by now.
Did
I
you see the whole like Ramilia and Milady eco like pissed at him because he pissed at Jesse because he like
Oh, yeah,
removed
yeah,
the word
yeah.
retardio out of their
No, I
Discord or
don't think it
something?
was that, I think someone, like, made a joke about killing someone. It was, like, very clearly a joke too, it was
Yeah,
not something that could have been misconstrued, and they, like, banned him.
yeah, that was pretty funny.
Base
But
is
yeah,
I still want
I mean,
Base to
like,
do
look at
well.
this. Like, even when I look at the group chat we have, we got this little perpetual friends group chat. The people that are in there, like, I just want to be like, what are again, armchair developer 100%. It's just like, can somebody make something cool? Like, please? Please someone make something cool that isn't anywhere else.
We've already talked
Um,
to everyone who's made something cool. There's no one
like,
left. We did a full
please,
lap.
like, please. And the thing is, it was funny because you started this thing of like, we're gonna run out of interesting people to talk to. And I was in complete denial. I was like, nah, this ecosystem is huge. Like, there's no way we actually run out of people. And like these days, it's just impossible to find something that isn't just mid.
I don't think we've run out necessarily. I mean, we definitely have blind spots. We definitely have blind spots, and there's just like in the AI in some spaces, like the AI space specifically, there's like too
Well, it's
much
so too
noise for me.
theoretical. Yeah.
There's too much. Yeah, it's too theoretical. There's too much noise, and like I can't evaluate that stuff. I think
Like
most
I
people
like
can't. I think most
Tao.
people are LARPing.
I like Tao, but why do I use Claude and ChatGPT? Why isn't there a solution there?
I
Like
like
there
Tau
probably
for
is, but why?
spiritual reasons. It has nothing to do with AI.
I know, but like that's what I mean about like the whole AI sector. It's like, yeah, this is gonna change this, just gonna change that. But I'm as I'm the I'm probably the most like prime consumer for these like AI apps, and I don't fucking use them. Nobody uses them. So
Stuff
I
takes
like the
time.
AI space theoretically, but it's just that's all it is. It's all theoretical. It's nothing. Um, and then people have been talking about like, uh, I mean, the Wayfinder shit is kind of cool. Have you been seeing that?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's like do you know like the Slate Spice guys trying to make? It is like a chatbot for like executing transactions.
Oh, just like an AI
Which
interface.
yeah, it's actually pretty good. I mean,
Like,
from the
are
demos
you
I've
gonna
seen,
use that?
I'm not
Like,
gonna
who's
use
gonna
it.
use that?
I'm not gonna use it. I think at most I could see a world where like if you had like a Robinhood mobile UX and you're like, it's one margin account, you're doing lending on one protocol, doing, trading delta neutral or like arbing funding rate on a perps protocol on one side. And then like an AI makes a suggestion like, hey, like you could get, kind of like when you're driving on and Google Maps is like, hey, there's a roadblock ahead, like go this way, and you get like 2 minutes saved, and you can decide if you want to change your route or not. That's the only thing I think I would actually do for the AI stuff is like if the AI could recognize that my wallet is already doing a certain type of activity, if they can find me yield that's more advantageous and like explain the risks to me, and then one button to like execute that. Um, I think that makes sense. But I'm not gonna wake up and instead of clicking MetaMask, I'm gonna click Wayfinder and type in a chatbot, "Hey, send
Yeah.
$5 to Ollie." Like, I'm not fucking doing that. Um,
Yeah, it's pretty specific. It's pretty like I think it'd still be a while before that stuff is actually like useful.
yeah. You know what was sad that I was talking about today?
What?
Uh, payments are still like mid. Like, we can't even pay people. We have to pay people.
I mean,
We had to fold to the TradFi gods
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
for the most simple use case in the world that
Well, I
crypto
mean,
is supposed to have
the
solved.
the blockage there is regulatory. That's the problem. Like if somebody like paying a crypto user is easier than it has ever been. Like there and it's never really been that bad. The thing is like uh, it's like if you want to pay someone who uses crypto and you're also a crypto user, you can do it easier than you could with literally anything else. But if you want to go outside of our ecosystem, you quite literally have to chew glass to get there. It's the worst experience I've ever had with any product ever.
And you know what feels
Um,
whack? No one's trying to get around it. I mean, I'm not gonna
I
act like
think
I've
just
been in
because of
this
like
space long enough,
I
but
think that's
like,
just because of regulatory stuff.
yeah,
Like
but
it's a pain.
back in my day, people were willing to go to jail for a good DeFi protocol or a good DApp, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess people are
I'm
more
not.
scared now.
I guess so, but like, then they'll still do this most shady shit with their token and then act like nothing is fucking
I think
happening.
it's because
And that,
you have to like well, I don't know. I mean, like just getting into a bank is difficult to do. I think that's the biggest thing.
yeah,
It's like
I don't know.
you can
It'll probably
easily
end up
build
being like
some
made by USDT
somebody's got to
and
make it, dude.
USDC.
Apparently,
Because the
yeah,
rails, you're
USDC
right.
offers it already.
The regulatory rails are the biggest problem, and the people who have been, or the orgs that have been embedded in those the most as of late, have been, uh, or like since not as of late, since the dawn of crypto has been USDT, and
Hmm.
maybe USDC. Fix my camera here.
USDC has apparently good rails already, but it's expensive. As far as I know, it's like $80 a month. And I'm pretty sure you still have to go through like an anal cavity search of a KYC to get there.
Yeah, I don't know. Seems, but yeah, this is basically the introduction. This 20 minutes is, please give us some
Somebody build something.
fucking
I need
please
OpNet
somebody
to go
build
live,
something.
dude. I feel like there would be so many Ponzi's on OpNet.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But it's still gonna be just for like, I really liked Joey's analogy on like car enthusiasts. Like like DeFi enthusiasts are really gonna enjoy OpNet. I don't think anyone else will.
Yeah, that's fine. Like as long as I
Yeah.
have somewhere to dick around, that's new. I don't
Yeah.
really I don't need stuff like that to appeal to a wider market. I just need it to appeal to the current market, which like nothing is really doing right now besides memes.
Yeah.
So I don't
What
know.
are you don't have anything else that you're excited about before we jump into like Polymarket stuff?
Not really. I mean, I want another airdrop farming opportunity, but
That's over.
yeah. I like
All
not
right,
even like
you wanna
everything's
play
capital
a
now.
fun game? How
Sure.
much how much bear chain monad movement farmers are going to make? You could throw in
Like
nah,
testnet
don't throw
farmers
in scroll. Don't throw in scroll. Just like the average farmer. Let's
on
just say
testnet
like,
because all those guys are on testnet.
yeah. Do you think their airdrop is going to be
Monad's
fat
not
enough?
even
Because
on testnet.
they're on DevNet. Sure.
I don't think testnet farmers make more than like $200 per wallet, and that's like the bull scenario. These people have, and
What
like
about
it's
Polymarket
honestly
farmers? That's a great
Polymarket,
transition.
it depends on when they drop, because there have been people market making for a while and farming Polymarket for a while, and only just now are people starting to talk about it. Um, Polymarket could be good because it's largely like it's not been common to farm it or to Sybil that drop up until like just now. So like if they wait too long, then it's gonna be really
Break
dilutive.
break down the Sybil strategy or the most basic one from a high level.
On Polymarket?
Yeah.
Oh, it's super simple. You find markets that are trading at like 99 to 1, and you bet on the one. You pay a penny for a share that gives you $1 worth of volume. So essentially, you get 100x the actual like dollar amount you're putting in, and you just pay a penny for it. So like, if I have $100 and some market is trading at 1 cent, I can go and buy, what is that, like 10,000 shares of that. So $10,000. Sorry, yeah, $10,000 worth of volume.
But someone has
With
to
just a
fill
hundred
you on the
dollars.
other side.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Uh,
you'd have to pick up resting liquidity or get filled.
do you think
If you place a bid, then you earn USD rewards, which is the nice thing. It makes your margins a little bit better.
do you think they're tracking USD or people that are LPing that are earning USD as probably a form of criteria? Or do you think they're just like
Um,
take the USDC and fuck off?
they see the thing is like now that they are talking, I think they're kind of fucking up by like they added a section to their docs about a token and about an airdrop. Obviously, a
Did they
lot of
really?
like yeah, it doesn't confirm anything. It just says like we have not launched the token yet, and like there has been no announced airdrop yet. Like all official communication will come from our Twitter account. And the problem with that is Polymarket volume. I think I'm like obviously I haven't looked at the numbers, but I get the sense that up until that started to happen, it was mostly organic, like overwhelmingly organic, especially compared to like any other crypto like trading platform. Um,
They said they had 10,000 daily. What was it? 10,000 daily active users, or is it MAUs or
uh,
monthly
I
active
don't
users?
have a sense for the numbers. It's just based off of like straight vibe. Like no one ever talked about farming a Polymarket token. People were trading on it because they wanted to trade on it, and that put them in a really good spot because then they could drop they could drop like a normal allocation, like 8 to 12%, whatever, and the actual users would like they would make a lot of money. Like that's how you do a good airdrop, literally. And now that they're teasing it to try and juice their volume a little bit more, like it's not there yet. Obviously, it depends on how long they go without. But the longer they wait, the more dilutive it's going to be, and just the more fake volume they're going to start to see.
I was looking at this recently. Can you see this well? Should I zoom in?
Mhm. Mhm. I can see.
I don't know what this no data shit is. Um,
It's probably just
but
downloadable. What are you looking
yeah,
for?
volume. I'm looking at the volume per day.
Oh.
62 mil. Yeah, daily users. Like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, I mean, in reality, like the volume just fucking flew, dude.
Yeah. I mean, like they got traction really quickly and were all over like even mainstream media. And now that they're
I was I was
trying
arguing
to juice
about
volume with tokens.
who what do you think the split is between users that are crypto native versus non crypto native
On
and a percent
Polymarket?
wise? Yeah.
Um
let's just say they have 10,000 users, or you
I
could do a
think it's
percent.
mostly I think it's mostly crypto users. You can probably approximate it by comparing the odds for the presidential election market to like actual polling data, because crypto is like overwhelmingly right leaning, especially because Trump is a lot more pro crypto than Kamala. Like right now it's at 50-49 in Trump's favor. Let's see where we're at here. Because I'm pretty sure Kamala
But
is ahead in
Kamala,
most other polls.
is she really? I think she's ahead on Polymarket.
She's ahead in Polymarket, but not most other places. I think. I'm not sure. Um,
Yeah, Donald Trump is ahead on Polymarket.
yeah, this website,
Manifold is
it
probably
looks like
the most
it just
accurate.
aggregates polling data from different places. It shows Kamala at 49.9 and Trump at 45.8. Which is a pretty big difference, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty heavily skewed to crypto users still. I don't think that
So 80-20, 60-40, 70-30.
70-30 probably, somewhere around that. Um yeah, everything I'm seeing is showing Harris like a good 3 or 4% ahead of Trump. Um
Yeah.
and that just like goes back to my point of how like they should not be teasing a token or an airdrop. Obviously they
Well,
can't
why?
control.
They're not gonna have any more attention than they do right now into this next month.
They're not gonna have what?
Any more attention, any more volume, any more attention, any more users.
Why
It's
wouldn't
all
they?
going to be maxed because the election's going to be over.
Oh well, yeah, next
There's
month.
$1 billion does not need to sit in
But
anywhere in that
they,
app without a
but
presidential election bet.
if they're smart, they're launching their token before the election because, like, I
Yeah, but
mean,
you're saying why should they talk about token and stuff? I was saying that they're doing that because they need to pump
yeah, I
those.
mean that would be
They
that
need
would be
to.
a super aggressive strategy if they like tease a token and then they drop they because they literally just started like adding it to their language like in the past couple of weeks. So if they do that and then launch the token within the next month, that would be dope. I would love to see that, honestly, but I don't think it's likely. Like I feel like when you add a mention of a token that's that loose to your messaging, like it means it's still far off.
I don't think so. I think Shane and those guys have been thinking about this stuff for a while. And I think they closed that round that they recently announced a lot earlier than people expected, or a lot
I
earlier
hope
than it
so.
was basically announced. I'm hoping they at
All I
least
know,
update the fucking protocol. I'm hoping they at least do. They provide like more things for that fucking $1 billion in TVL to do. As instead, like I hope their focus was creating a better protocol versus trying to cash out token wise in time and creating like fake bullshit use cases for a token. Um, they're probably gonna launch. I mean, some people have said they're gonna launch a little chain or a little extra layer or something. Is I think what people are expecting, but
I just hope they
I hope
if they
that's
don't
not it.
launch before August, they're literally like they're cutting off at least
You
like a
mean
third
November?
or sorry, November, yeah. They're cutting off like at least a third of their market cap, I think. And they have to know that. They can't be that naive.
Yeah,
Unless
but the
their
thing is,
initial
like,
like
if
TGE roadmap was still years out, I don't think that they would like I think they're smart enough to either like their token plan was always to wait till like 2026 or something, or like they're launching within the next month. Anything in between is just like a gross mismanagement of their token launch, I think. because they can't be that naive that they're like, oh, we'll find a way to like maintain volume after the election. It's like, nah, dude, there's no way. Be real.
And people must have been telling them this shit though for a while.
They
So
have to
they
know.
must
Yeah, they
know.
have to know. I
Yeah,
mean,
they must know.
yeah.
They must know that they have to be like more capital efficient. They must know they have to like figure some stuff
But
out
in
on like the
fairness,
product side.
you don't get to that level of success. You don't get to be like a successful team, a successful founder without being like delusional, you know? So like maybe
Oh yeah,
it's possible that's still
but they're
riding,
delusional in a good way. They're
but
delusional
you
in
don't
that
know where it ends.
they've always believed though in like the prediction market world, and that being like a tough problem to solve.
So then don't
So
you
I think
think
it is
that
like a
they would
good
plan to
delusional.
not launch? Like if they are delusional, don't you think they would be like, "Oh, well the
I
election
think they
ending
have a
doesn't
rough
matter. Like we'll
balancing
make it
act.
up anyways."
I think they have a hard balancing act to solve for. Um, there's demand from the crypto side to make more complex financial product, basically, or like a more advanced financial product. But there's also that they need to be able to fulfill the. I think in their minds, they probably have a higher skew of they believe that they're the consumer app for crypto, and that there's a bunch of non-crypto people using their protocol. I doubt that more than I think they doubt that, and I think they might over-index for the non-crypto natives, and then slowly watch TVL just like vanish, um,
Well, they probably know
unless they advance the protocol. They
they
should have
probably
like a
know what subset
full
of users aren't crypto native. It's probably so easy to figure out. Like you just look at the wallet history and the funding source, and that's like
yeah,
a good enough way to approximate.
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be tough for them. I think they can get away with not launching a token if they've really thought about advancing the way the protocol works, and the capabilities it has. I think that if they cater towards the crypto native money strong enough, they'll maintain a strong amount of TVL, um, and just find a way for more complex financial stuff, more capital efficient stuff to happen on the app. Um, People don't want to show up to some shit and not get filled on the fucking bid. And they don't want to bridge to Polygon to use the app. Like those things that can make for a way better experience and more advanced types of trading. Because there is is your money in like a DeFi protocol?
Um, Probably, yeah.
Which one?
I don't know. I
What
have to
percent?
check. Symbiotic. I have money in Symbiotic.
Yeah, so I think they don't have to drop a token. I think they can do like uh, more advanced stuff that could generate yield, and people will put their money there because it's still Polymarket. It's still the best place for a prediction market. It's still this X, Y, and Z thing, and they can maintain that and still not drop a token and still get people excited about a future token. Is my thing. I don't think they have to drop a token within this month. I think they need to create a better fucking protocol.
But how do you top literally being a data source on like CNN and shit like that? Like what are they
Dude,
gonna
you can be a
build that
data
is gonna
source on
have further
CNN
reach
all
than
you
that?
want. You can be a data source on CNN all you want, but if you can't find a home for $1 billion in TVL once the fucking election is over, it's the same problem that like Sanctum. Sanctum had that moment where there's like giant amount of TVL in the protocol. This is their loudest moment. They're about to drop a token. They have to do things that remove people's uh willingness to just remove the fucking money out of the protocol. I think if they could maintain above $500 million in the app, and create like a better app, like if you could probably generate like really solid yield. Like What if they just immediately have like a really dope market for the next fucking election market, and they're like, yeah, like, we'll throw your fucking the money that you're gonna like put in here for 4 years. We'll throw it into like fucking yield opportunities. We'll like there are some CFTC regulated uh prediction markets that bet on NASA moon landings and stuff like that. That put their money like the protocol, the app takes their money, and because it's going to sit for like years or months, they'll put it into like treasuries and get 5%. Like that's a step above than what Polymarket has right now, and those fucking guys are CFTC regulated. So I think they just need to do cooler shit and more capital efficient shit and advance the protocol rather than just dumping a token.
I don't.
But
Well, no, I'm not
who
saying they
knows?
should dump a token to retain users. That's not going to be. That's not going to accomplish that. Like the point of launching the token then is so you launch at a higher valuation. Like let's just be real. They want to launch at the highest possible. Obviously, they want their token to be worth something in the
I
long
don't know. I
run,
think
but
we've
a
matured
step
enough.
in that process is no, we have not. A step in
I
that
think we
process
have.
is
I think
launching a
people
token
will
at a
look
high initial valuation.
I think we will look far out in advance and say, they're going to dominate in an election space. They're creating a more, efficient protocol that is going to create better yield opportunities, better kind of like reasons to have
There's
money in the
no
protocol. They're going to create sports betting. They're going to create, this shit. Polymarket is a household name at this point. Like, I could still see people using the app at this point. Like, they have the fucking clout to like partner with some of the biggest streamers. They have the clout to do like really cool shit. Um, the only other risk I'd see for them is like the regulatory shit. Because they could just get regulated to fucking zero, to be honest. That's what
I don't
I've
think
heard
there's
some other
any
prediction markets saying that it's gonna happen.
I don't think there's any market that they can launch, any product, any yield, anything they can offer that is gonna come close to what is literally the biggest news event of of every like of every 4 years. Like there's nothing they could do that's bigger than the catalyst of being a couple months out from election day.
I think they got it in them. I think prediction markets have a lot more to offer than elections. I
I mean,
think
yeah,
the
but not
I
at
think
that
the
scale. Because you
I
have to
do.
remember
I think
is they
more.
have
I think more,
friction
dude.
too. They
I think
have
more.
it's not they have so much friction to their platform too because you have to
That's what I'm
onboard
saying.
to
They have to make
Polygon
a
to get
better
there.
product. If they make a better product and a more advanced product, they need to give you reasons to keep money in the protocol outside of the election.
Well, then
Anyway, how
they're
are people
behind on
going to
the
get their
election
free?
timeline. They're
That's what you
behind
think.
if they no,
That's what you think.
100%
I
because
think they
you still have to
prioritize.
onboard through Polygon and there's no other
I think they
markets that are
prioritize.
exciting.
I think they prioritize the fact that this is working for the elections now. We have fucking $500 million in this app, or even if they were at 100 million, we have $100 million in this election market. Let's just keep this shit working until the election is over. We'll advance the protocol and try new shit once there's not the biggest prediction market in the fucking world on this app, and we can do cooler shit. We can change the onboarding experience. We can change things around, and we can try cooler shit.
They
Sports
can't wait
betting,
that long. They can't
streamers.
wait till this has to
I
happen
feel like they've
before
been
the
working on
election
it.
settles.
Yeah, I feel like they've been working on it because
Then
there's no way you as a grown man onboard onto Polygon the way that the onboarding experience has been now and say, yeah, this is the future of finance. I think they realized that a long time ago and have been building towards changing that for a very long time. I think that's my thing. Granted, I do think very highly of that Shane guy. I think he's like could be like a pretty smart dude. Um, but yeah, I don't know. How are people gonna make free money aside
well,
from
I
the
mean,
token?
that has nothing to do with the election markets. Quite the opposite, actually. Those are the markets you want to stay away from.
So
Like I'll
how
still be using Polymarket, not that I'm like an active user, but I'll still be looking for like
are you
for
gonna hide?
markets to pick off.
Are you gonna hide what we were talking about from the
What were we
audience?
what were we talking about?
The the 3 observations for free money on free
Oh.
20Xs on
Oh,
Polymarket.
yeah, yeah. I tweeted about it. Um,
Man,
I mean, no, I'm not gonna hide
fill
it
the
because
clip,
I think
dude.
people
Fill the
because I
clip.
think people the thing is like I was not gonna like tweet it out at first because I knew like it's pretty clear something like that would go viral, and I was not gonna tweet it at first. But then I realized like no one's gonna put in the actual work because you have to actually pay attention to do it.
So
Um,
what do people have to do for a free 20X on Polymarket?
Well, you have to first of all, you have to be, like, monitoring the markets regularly. Like,
Okay.
you can't just anytime a new market goes up, you should know about it, and you should check it within, like, at least a day or 2.
What should you be
Second,
looking for, or what are you looking for?
you would be looking the difference in, like, the question that they ask and the actual settlement conditions is pretty important. It's not often that those don't line up, but when they don't line up, that's when you can literally, like, break the system. And stuff that is just, like stuff that is uncertain and has, like, skewed public perception. A lot of it is also around announcements. It helps a lot to check odds immediately after announcements, especially because Polymarket's super inefficient. So for these markets that have like 20K of volume lifetime on them, it's gonna take like 20, 30 minutes for things to swing, for people to put the connection together between an announcement and a Polymarket bet, which is like if you just pay attention, like that's plenty of time to go on there and be one of the ones to swing it in the first place.
So observe new markets, look for a market that you think you'd have an edge in, or is it just any market that has a very skewed opinion?
It definitely helps to have an edge in it, like, and that's what's good
What
about
have
the
you
fact that
been
there's so many crypto markets.
Is that what you focus on, the crypto ones?
I'm I mostly look at the crypto ones, yeah. I'm sure there's such a broad base of topics on here. Like I'm sure there's other stuff you could find, but like the Venezuelan election one was like super random. I have no expertise there whatsoever,
Yeah.
but it took like, you know, 10 minutes of Googling to kind of get a rough idea of what was going on and profit off of that. I'm sure there's tons of more examples. Like
But the
there's
thing is,
dude,
when the market comes brand new, there is like 50-50. Volume is very slow to move in, and you don't see the skew. So, like, when the market immediately comes on and you're looking for something that you like could have an edge in, and you're like, all right, I'm going to wait for volume to kind of move the odds into what I think is too skewed to like something like a 99-1, which happened with the Eigenlayer airdrop. You just kinda,
I
like,
don't
favorite that market and just observe it over time, wait for volume to move because they come in at 50-50, and then you're kind of just, like, sitting there like, "What the fuck?" Or do you place bids even when they're at 50-50?
I don't know. I don't place bids at 50-50 most of the time. I don't usually get to markets that early. It's usually like I'll check them a couple days after they go live, and by then like odds have settled a little bit. Honestly, like an big announcements around an existing market are probably more actionable than new markets themselves. Just because people are super slow to react to news, and when they do react, it's not uncommon for it to be like a knee jerk overreaction, like it was with Eigenlayer, like it was with like the Trump token stuff. Um, that's another thing is like not just being early to announcements, but like even being late and like catching just a complete overcorrection in one direction. So like the Eigen token announcement is a really good example because it happened like 3 times. It happened again after like after we had talked about it because apparently they launched early or something like that. So it swung from like 99 to 1 back to 99 again, which is crazy. Or maybe even more, maybe even once more than that. Um and the thing is like people were treating this like an all or nothing thing when like settlement takes time, we still had days to expiry, and like, you know, like people in these markets, people don't think about like the value of time in this. Like even if Eigenlayer announces their token is launching after the settlement date, there are still like 2 to 3 days for that to be realized. That should be factored into the odds, like mentally. Not It's not factored in the market, but you have to factor it in yourself precisely because no one else is. Like this, I'm sure when will Bear Chain launch in 2024? How much volume has that done?
5K.
Okay. This
Like if
order book
these,
real
if
quick.
bro, this at 91, there might be, you know,
I mean,
betting.
like, so a basic thing here is like let's say, so for that market specifically, like as we get closer to the end of the year, um, I'm sure
Damn,
there's going to be announcements. Oh shit. Um, that's actually not a bad punt right there.
that's not a bad one,
I would
right?
not hate taking that one. Maybe I think it has a lot to do with like the market downturn. If not for that, then this would probably be a lot higher. Um, but yeah, let's say like we're approaching the end of the year.
This feels like it hits your criteria. 19K in volume. It's almost at,
I don't
you
have an
know, 1% odds. It's
I
at
don't have a
3%
significant
chance.
edge here. Like
But there
intuitively,
is
I would probably price it closer to like 8 to 10%, which is like not enough of a that's not enough of a discrepancy for me to really be too interested in it.
like, look at
Um,
this. $1 in volume for this.
what the fuck? I can't see our faces are on the left side, so I can't see the.
Oh fuck, my bad. Hold on.
You're just gonna have a
Let's
little
see.
haircut. Wow. Well, these just went live, I think. Yeah, these just went live last week. I'm pretty sure. I am actually is Swell on here? Swell should be on here, right?
Yes, they're
Yeah.
here.
I'm
You can bet your life savings that they'll delay a fucking airdrop.
I yeah, I should probably set a bid on this because I'm leaning towards no. I do not like Swell. I
Nobody does.
openly hate Swell.
Anyone who
Fuck
does
those
is a liar.
guys. Like not only did they continue to delay over and over and over and over again, but then when I bring it up to them, they send
They
their
sent the
intern after
intern.
me,
They sent the
and
founder on a burner
they're
account.
like, oh well, Solana subsidizes validator emissions, and you get points for holding Swell. It's like, brother, points are worth $0, and they have been since
Brother,
we were like actively farming this thing too back in like literally in like April, March of 2023.
I recently saw someone write a thread saying, "I'm sick of Swell. They've delayed too many times." I'm like, brother, you're just noticing
They
now.
just continued they like I was upset at them delaying over a year ago at this point. And they continued to delay for a whole other year after that. And the worst part is if you go to their Twitter, look at how much they talk about Swell. Look at how much
Look,
they
look.
mention like Swell. Oh shit, they launched the checker? Or the checker next week. The Swell checker will launch next week. I don't give a fuck. I'm not believing this token is launching until it is sitting in my wallet and I can see it, at which point I'm sending it. I'm oh yeah, yeah.
Look at this shit. Still have nothing to show for it. You
You
have
have more
more pearls
pearls.
than what you started with, along with 3% plus yield in December of 2023. Could you imagine, bro?
Bro,
Come
I
back to
held
me when soul validators are actually profitable without subsidies from the foundation.
yeah, yeah.
Bro, someone put this on the top of the mid curve chart, man. Holy fuck.
I think the initial tweet was about Jito because I was like, yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, dude, I like Jito literally changed lives. Jito changed my life. I would go as far as to say that. Like, shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
Shout out to Buffalo and all them. Those guys are fucking chads. Regardless, like airdrop aside, they have a genuinely good, like industry dominant product. Whereas Swell, like, was like
What the fuck is
unoriginal in their
Party now?
first thing when it was just like trying to compete as an LST. Now they're doing the whole then they like pivoted to restaking like most failing LSTs did. And then now they're doing a layer 2. Like they're securing a layer 2 with restaked assets. Like, dude,
Send it to
please
zero, man.
get it together. Honestly, we like I want to say that we deserve better in this space, but
We don't.
maybe
We
that's a
don't.
stretch. Maybe we deserve projects like Swell.
Yeah. Uh,
Um,
Hyperliquid token launch.
this is an interesting one. There's probably this will actually this is a really good one to watch today and tomorrow because yesterday was the last point snapshot, which means they are likely going to announce something tomorrow or early next week.
Yeah, I'm pre-alpha.
So, damn, no, November is is it launch in that month or is it launch before that month?
It's just like basically when. So
Okay, so if it
you
launches in
can pick a
October,
month or
then
go
all
later.
the other ones are going to settle to zero. October's not bad here, honestly.
Really?
Well, okay, not yet, but I
I think it
think
could get.
I
I
think
think it could get really bad.
I think something you can do literally right now is turn on Twitter notifications for Hyperliquid,
Okay.
move their Discord to like the top of your thing so it's right there, and just like as soon as you see an announcement come up, you go straight to this market. And if it's, I don't know what it's going to be. Like, I don't think they have a super long period with no points and no TGE. Like, I think they have to roll into either more points or give more information about TGE. But the idea is like, look at these markets, like mid 4 figures in volume. They have an announcement coming probably tomorrow, if not tomorrow, early next week. With just how few people are on here, it's like practically certain that if you're early enough to the announcement, you can find an arb here if they say something telling.
Yeah. I mean, what's the return at these rates? 28 cents. Nothing. It's not bad returns for what it's worth. It's like 200%.
Yeah,
I just wish like
spread's pretty
35.
good. That's actually
Yeah.
surprisingly liquid. Maybe this won't swing that hard then. That was never mind. Yeah, down to 11 it's like a couple $100. Um but yeah, no, like this like winning on this
What the
app,
fuck is this?
Sonic's Phantom.
2025? If this goes to
Uh
99, I feel like this is a
dude, any like 99 token launch event that hasn't been like done yet, you can probably like just punt on because it's 100x and people delay shit all the time. So like just broadly the entire crypto space, I think there's a greater than 1% chance of
yeah,
like
everyone and their mom is trying to get
multi-month
filled.
delay.
Well, this isn't
I
that many
wonder
orders, but
I wonder like it would be really interesting to look at all of the crypto launch markets and backtest like the returns for every time a market hit 1% because I'm fairly certain it would be quite plus EV.
Kraken IPO in 2024.
IPO. Isn't Kraken launching
You maybe.
an L2 question mark? Was that Kraken or someone else? OKX? OKX
Kraken.
already has an L2, I think.
No,
OKX
I
has
don't think it.
OKX chain.
Yeah. This.
They still have that token, right? Was it OKT or something? Remember when you hated that? OKB, that's what it was.
Oh yeah. Fuck OKP.
It's worth 9 billion FTV. Oh, dude, it looks like it's outperformed ETH like by quite a lot actually. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong time frame.
So
Maybe not.
stupid.
Damn, I don't know this thing
Is
was
John
in the
McAfee
top 50.
alive? How does this settle? This will never settle.
Well, scroll down to the settlement conditions.
Proof is
Hit
publicly
hit
revealed.
hit show more. Hit show more. Is there a timing on it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna settle, and he has to. That would be like wild news if
Ryan
that
Selk
happened.
arrested in 2024. TGEs criminal charges.
I like Selkis. I don't care what anyone says. He's probably mentally ill, but I respect his
Mentally ill.
I respect his conviction, even if I don't agree with everything he says. What else are we going to talk about? Airdrop farming. There's nothing to airdrop farm. I benchmarked my portfolio the other day. I don't know if you saw. I sent a picture in front running friends. And like I was thinking about how I didn't actually like do the math, but I was thinking about how much of those returns are just from airdrops. It's probably a lot. It's probably like a majority of it. So it's like, the fuck do I do now? Just keep holding ETH and losing money.
Can you go into no's on these with size?
What? Just check the order book.
Can make a quick 2%, I guess.
You do not place. You do not place.
I wonder.
You
I
don't
was
place market
curious.
orders on Polymarket. That is a terrible idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Polymarket is fun, and I like prediction markets as the
It's a
greatest.
fun app. I'm not bearish on them by any means. I just think that I mean, I don't think it's an uncommon opinion, but I just think that they have to do something within the next month, either launch a token or some other product, or product improvement wouldn't be ideal, but it would be better than nothing. They just have to act. They got to do something.
Farming
All right.
opportunities.
There's nothing to
Where to
talk
go
about
from
there,
here?
really.
My
We can
title would
wrap
have
up
worked
here.
better.
I didn't like your title. You're being
Do we
leaning
have the
into the
clip for?
clickbait too heavy.
Do we have the clip? Do we have the clip? Did you name your 3 criteria? I think
Did
so.
I?
There's a good clip in there.
Maybe. Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
There's somewhere.
I don't want to force it. It's fine.
What else?
Nothing else. We can wrap up here. It's like just a Polymarket episode, basically. That's what that was.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, I wanted to do one with Nate as well.
We can still do one. I mean, this was mostly just like he's more interested in like
He actually knows what he's talking about.
yeah, he actually knows what he's talking about. That's the main difference.
Yeah. And please, someone build something cool and
Yeah,
DM us, please.
that's the main takeaways, pretty much.
Please. All right.
All right.
That was episode 89. Road to 1 billion episodes.
Hell yeah. All right.
All right.
Peace, guys.